I would just like to say, do you ever feel like every fucking thing you do is wrong? Everything I do or say is wrong. Ken 1142, right? But I don't give a fuck, right? Because have you ever felt like, I know you have you ever felt like when you feel like everything is right, it's the time that invariably other people seem to think that you're doing everything wrong? So I think that speaks to the whole keep away from those motherfuckers that want to pull you down. Yeah, how about that? Yeah. I'm on the road to heaven knows where. I'm feeling okay, yeah, I'm feeling okay. I'm up for air, got the wind in my hair. Nothing is bringing me down, nothing is bringing me down no more. Tie your hair back, keep the car running, pack the hands, oh don't stop for nothing. Go ahead and get what you need, you gotta keep it drama free. Don't forget your own body, shut the door when you count the money. Gotta keep it drama free, yeah, gotta keep it drama free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just talking to, and then Ken earlier on, and then what I was doing was, and then that happened, and then, yeah. Are you offering me something hard? Hard as a firecracker born on the 4th of July. You're damn lucky to have her. You just watch your mouth. Would you please quote from the American Bar Association Rules of Professional Conduct Canon 7? A lawyer shall jealously represent his client within the bounds of the law. And I find you, counselor, guilty of judging me and selling me out, and not by the power vested in me by the kingdom of God. I sentence you to the ninth circle of hell. We are now in the ninth circle of traitors. Traitors to God, traitors to fellow man, traitors to humanity. Get on your knees. Welcome, players. This is a game of chance. It's all about time and chance. As Eminem said, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Yeah. I gotta believe there's more chances, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because, the choice is yours. Let the games begin, as Taylor Swift said. Let the games begin. Her album, that whole album, pile of dog shit. And I'm a player. If I had daughters, I'd be like, fuck you, why are you listening to that horse shit? As we learned at university, to get a balanced, good perspective on anything, you have to look at all sides, even, dare I say it, look at the Daily Mail, and because you have to know the arguments of the enemy, in inverted commas, in order to be able to debunk and, whatever, try to, consider the position. Do we actually know the position of the enemy? Or are we just going to get lost in ideology, which, as Jordan Peterson says, is one of the main dangers of our time? I'll be in my lane, you be in yours, and I'll just look at all the data that supports mine without actually having an open mind. Yes, you may have looked at the other side, that's fair enough, but at the end of the day, to avoid the straw man argument, where you state the position of the opposition wrongly in order to bolster your position, that's poor argumentation, as we learned at university. So you got to look at all of the available, what was the point of me saying that? Train of thought. Well, they do call me mad, so I've got to keep up my reputation. So I let the games begin. Do you ever think that relationships are a game? But I was watching one of these YouTubers and he was talking about various things, and it's okay to get confirmation from listening to a certain person's opinion, but then you have to have critical thinking and go, well, let's listen to the other side, because it's a difficult thing, isn't it? But at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Do you give a fuck? I don't give a fuck what the fuck you think, you fucking You don't know anything, so why do I give a fuck about what one would hope is that there should be some form of togetherness in the society. That would be good, wouldn't it? And if we talk about that in relation to the relationship, we're trying to manifest something which isn't easy in our modern times, is it? With all the distractions of social media, Instagram, Snapchat, where the women seem to be winning in this game. Let's finish this. I think, see all this bullshit with the patriarchy, being a man, you're a piece of shit, fuck you, you've got it easy. I think you'll find it's the other way around. I think fine in terms of the date. Well, I think if we extrapolate, if we talk about what was discussed in relation to, let's just for the purposes of discussion, does the patriarchy exist, right? I think the mid position is probably a good one. In other words, we're all victims of it because men haven't had a great role, have they? Have had a great run. As Bill Burr said, that whole comedic way that he explored the idea that men are like the winners in this society, and yous have got it tough. I think you'll find it's the other way around. You'll try working up a roof and doing all those difficult jobs. I think one of the things I got out of the Jordan Peterson position was the top ultra. See, you got to break it down. The top ultra rich elite are skewing the statistics. In other words, the men are typically more risk taking and psychopathic. So typically more of the people at the top earning the big bucks tend to be men. So they skew the overall statistics. In other words, it looks as if the pay gap bullshit. What about the experience of all the other men down at the bottom? Most men aren't they the wealthy elite? Are they? Hello? So a lot of the women are complaining about something which doesn't exist in most men. Most men are not super high wealthy elite hedge fund managers and blah, right? They're struggling just as much as the women are. So see what I mean about nuance? It'd be good if we had a chance to actually get out what we're trying to say. Wouldn't it, a lot of the times, because what I've discovered in my life is you get interrupted all the time, so you can't actually if you were to have a discussion about the patriarchy and feminism and do half these feminists actually looked at all the available evidence? Nah, they just stick to their own little agenda. Oh, poor me, you're calling the shots because you're on Snapchat chatting to a million guys. Attention, and you're not giving proper attention to the man that I'm just exploring this for a lot. You're not giving the attention to the man that you should be, So then the women end up, if we can take it back to all people, all genders are victims of the if we just, I don't know whether it exists or whether it doesn't, if I just go for the purposes of the discussion, does it exist, right? So men and women are both victims. In other words, women, attention, lovely, you had your fun, but then at the end of it, you feel vacuous and empty, and you've got no man, because as the guy on YouTube was saying, most men are staying out of there's consequences to everything. So the fact that the women are getting all this attention, arguably, I'm just touching on this one aspect, then most of the men are going, fuck that. She's got the choice fuck off. I'll just stay out of the dating game and manifest my own dream life on my own. You know what I mean? But if you can keep a relationship going, well done, you're a bigger man than me. Ta.